Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings. I was like, oh shit, I forgot I actually downloaded Discord onto the new tower computer, and I was like, oh, it's coming through my headset. Okay.
Whoops.
Because I have it, technically have it up, but right now it's on the browser version, so that doesn't give me the updates, but it does now. So
okay.
I'm just like, sorry, I'm like half still like closing up a call, so I'm like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Did Cupcake fall asleep on us or something?
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
I
certainly want to sleep. Where the fuck is Discord? There it is.
It's like, I'm right here, Kiki. Jeez.
Well, because I have the pop-out, which is what I record on a different monitor, Discord itself's over here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it on the taskbar for some reason, because my brain is dead.
Hey, that's valid.
Because I haven't slept. Not that I didn't try.
Yeah. Sometimes you just sit there and you try to close your eyes and your body's like, nope, fuck you.
Pretty much.
Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. Are we all ready for the new year? I know I'm not. Enjoy the show.
I just have to giggle each time I think of this because it's a word pun for the story I'm writing. Because I'm writing smut, and I'm like, I'm almost at the climax of my smut story. I'm just like, giggle. Climax.
You're at the climax.
Giggle. Oh. I just giggling. And I've got let me see. I've got how many more prompts do I have? One. I have 2 more prompts. But they're lower down. It goes by in alphabetical order. So my first one, C for chocolate. Then I got F and K. And I was like, well, F, I was like, immediately had an idea. And so I'm like, yay. And my brain wanted to immediately go into the next story. I'm like, no, I'm not done with the first one yet. Pause. Because I really had an idea. Because it was like, oh, we can use this word that begins with F. And then we're going to use these characters. And I'm like, I know. Just simmer. It's like, we need to let Cole and Hanzo finish first. Let them finish first. And then we can get to the nice gay old men. It's okay. Just hold on.
My ginger ale attacked me.
Your ginger? What?
Ginger ale.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. I'm like, ginger ale attacked you? What?
I attempted to drink from it, and it kind of went splash in my face.
Oh, I was like, I thought that's what she said.
I can drink.
Drinkfunction.exe has stopped working. Here, sausage, let me cover you up now that you're back in your little bed. Yeah. There. Oh. There. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Hang on.
All right.
In the darkness. I misremembered 10 your time is 12 your time, and I'm like, I have plenty of time. Took a shower, took out the trash. I'm upstairs making a pot of coffee. All of a sudden, I hear the thing going off. I'm like, what? What the fuck?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Hot dog burps.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Well, that's no good.
Anyway. Well, at least you were semi-productive.
Well, I wouldn't call it productive. It's more like threats were made about the state of trash building up in my office.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't on purpose. I've just been a little busy. I keep trying to get that across. It's not a matter of, like, I don't care. It's a matter of, oh my god, all I want to do is sleep.
Sleep.
Right.
Did you manage a nap at all or anything?
Yeah, actually, like half an hour. Like 10 to 10:30.
Oh, I hate you.
Then my phone went off because my assistant was like, we got a ton of freight, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, hang on.
Damn work always calling, wake me up. All you have missed is me bitching that politics are sad.
What are they not sad?
Okay, but when you haven't slept and it's not good news at all, politic-wise,
Right.
they're sadder. My phone will.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I'm of the opinion that we're basically witnessing the fall of Rome.
Rawr.
But we're Rome.
Right.
Oh, it's
And the sad part is it's not... It's the same thing that does in every civilization, which is the rich get real greedy and they start making really stupid decisions for the rest of society just to increase their coffers, and then inevitably it basically hangs everyone.
Because of course that's what you do, apparently.
Well, I won't have to worry about it. I'll be on my private island, unlike the rest of you plebs.
It won't be very private when we're all there.
Why would you be there? I have my private army to keep you off of it. That's why I'm a multi-billionaire and you're not.
Who's the island mothers? The two of us.
Well, I don't mean me personally, Cupcake. I mean, like, the billionaires are like, what do they care if America falls? They'll still have their money.
I know.
Or the illusion of money, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help us, we're rich. Okay. Where was it? I was here a second ago. Apparently, Mitch McConnell said a bit of a gaffe earlier.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
African American voters aren't voting in just as high a percentage as American voters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm gonna give him that one just because I'm pretty sure that was a mistake and not a...
I'm not saying he's racist. I'm saying it's a bit of a mistake.
Right.
To classify it like that.
Yeah.
Well, my point being is, if we do that, we have to be just as rough, like, on the president and the Democrats for making stupid comments like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And generally we...
is a gaffe machine.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's old!
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't mean that, like, in a mean way, but I mean, like, dude, like, that's high-pressure shit, and he's, like, what, like, 70?
How old old is Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell is 79.
Yeah, dude, they're senators, dude. They serve for life.
I wish they didn't.
Same.
Good luck with that.
I know. I'm well aware.
Biden is also 79. Okay.
Right.
So they're.
Biden was also a senator, so it's not like a shock.
Yes, I remember seeing him in the background of some Clinton era videos as
Right.
Senator Biden.
Right.
Switch back over to this screen because I want to finish the sentence I was writing. Sorry. Kiki knows why I'm giggling.
Her smut is close to the climax.
Your phrasing is without. Anyway.
Sorry, my brain keeps phrasing it like that, and I'm like, stop. You're not 12. Stop it.
Climax? Really? God.
Plus, I'm full of caffeine and slightly tired, so it's giggles.
I think that's all of us at this point. You can't see it, but there's literally a pot of coffee sitting under my desk right now. Also, I made my own.
Thank you for.
The hell do you call it? Like, we don't have a traditional coffee machine. We have the Keurig. We have the things you fill with coffee grounds now instead of the cups. Like, I still have the cups for when like it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I don't feel like stumbling around in a half awake daze trying to fill the thing without making a mess. But like, we have the one model that supports like a pot of coffee on the same machine, and I apparently make my coffee way stronger than the companies do, because this shit's like rocket fuel.
My tummy was getting upset, so I had to switch to ginger ale.
Oh, dude, I ate, like I said, I ate an entire barbecue chicken pizza last night, so I spent most of 6 a.m. on the can going, God, why did it taste so good but have to feel so bad?
We got Mongolian barbecue last night, actually.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm either going to do it Sunday night or Monday.
Was not worth the price.
No?
I usually like Mongolian barbecue, but that place, like, really shitty cut work, terrible mushrooms.
Oh, that's too bad. So, like, the ingredients weren't very good?
Yeah. And it was delivered, so we didn't watch them put it together, but... Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have the balls to have Mongolian barbecue delivered to me.
It sounded good. And you get to pick out all your stuff as if you were there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was like, this portion seems really small. And that's me saying that, not my husband.
Right.
For how much we paid.
What was it a person?
I don't remember right now.
Oh.
Because I don't have
It was a lot, and it wasn't worth the money.
Yes. I remember being like, we're not doing this again.
It may have been somewhere between $1 and $1 million. We're not sure where it landed in that. That's always my thing with the Mongolian barbecue is I like to go for lunch because the only thing they add to the wok, the Mongolian barbecue for dinner, is shrimp. Otherwise, it's the same assortment. And like the difference between lunch and dinner is like $6. And it's not. I never get shrimp, so it doesn't matter to me. It's like I almost always try to go for lunch because lunch is like $10.
I remember per person was more than $10.
Yeah.
I'm not counting the delivery charge in this.
Right. What was it, like one of the delivery services, or was it them themselves?
It was a delivery service.
Yeah, that's never worth it. I did that once, and the guy like took an hour to deliver the food. And the only reason I even went that way was because I was so drunk that I physically like couldn't leave my chair when I made the order.
Mm.
I was like, I could really go for some Taco Bell, but I'm way too drunk, and it was like one of the few times that like I don't know if it was which one of the delivery services was doing it, but for a little while, the Taco Bell in town had an agreement with I don't remember which one of like the big three that are here, Postmates,
Yeah.
DoorDash, whatever. Like they did it, and I ordered the food, and I remember thinking I bought $10 worth of food, and it cost me $10 to have it delivered, and the guy took an hour to get to me.
Oh, jeez.
And so the food was ice cold when I got it, but by that point, it had been like 2 hours, and I had stopped drinking, so I was like pretty sober. And I'm like, why did I think this was a good idea? This was not a good idea. And the worst part was, like, when I say I was too drunk to move, like, it wasn't like 2 hours of sobering up, like stopping and sobering up was enough that I probably could have then went to Taco Bell 2 hours later and gotten hot food. If I really, really wanted to, like, I'm not saying it would have been a good idea, but I probably could have done it, and I wouldn't have, like, crashed into anything.
Valid.
Whereas when I made the order, I'm like, oh my god, the room is spinning. I'm going to order 4 quesadillas, 3 soft tacos, and 2 macho burritos, and then passed out. And woke up to the phone going, your order has been delivered. I'm like, what time is it? Nice. And I actually had the Chinese place I buy from, like, physically, like, tell us, like, regulars, like, please don't use DoorDash, they take so much money from us. I'm like, okay.
Eep.
Well, they started delivering themselves, and they charge way less money to deliver than DoorDash if you're within, like, 5 miles of the restaurant, which I'm, like, a mile away. And they don't upcharge. Like, when you order on DoorDash, it's more per item than when you just order from them through their menu. It's really weird. This was a changeover because they realized how much money they were losing to DoorDash, and they, like, started delivering themselves, and it was worth every dollar for, like, I'm totally, complete aside, I'm totally fine with going delivery only with fast food. Like, us never having dine-in again. It does not bother me. And I'm one of the few people who's like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel the need to eat at McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever. Like, I'm more than happy to pick it up and take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think I agree with you on, definitely on, like, the fast food stuff. Like, I don't need to sit in McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King or whatever to eat that food. But right. There's also the part of me that, like, for, like, the actual restaurants, sit-down restaurants, where you would, like, that's part of the point, is you go there to, like, have the better food, so you expect to pay more, and you thank you for
going. Yeah. I get, to continue off her thought, I understand where she's coming from, but luckily, or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, I hate those restaurants. Like, I don't like going to those fancy sit-down restaurants. So that, like, them doing whatever they have to do to survive doesn't bother me in the least. I agree with her, though. Like, I wouldn't want to go to, like, a fancy steakhouse and have to take the steak and go home and, like, just make a steak at that point.
Yeah, because half the point is the ambiance. Right.
But the other thing is, I legitimately hate dining around other people. Because, like, I don't know what it is. I can't fucking stand, like, the sound of people noise. It's like I don't like the fairs and shit.
Okay.
Like, I could do it, but I don't like it.
So if you ever come and visit, we're ordering in.
I mean, I can go out to eat, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't choose to do it by myself. Like, it has to be, like I'm visiting you guys, or, like, we're going out for somebody's birthday or something. Like, I don't go, you know what? I'm going to go to that sushi restaurant, and I'm going to sit there and eat all the sushi and get drunk. No, fuck it. I'm a hermit, dude. Like, I don't make any excuses. Like, COVID has like, completely wrecked my entire will to be social. Mostly because I got to see, like, legitimately the worst side of humanity. Because the people who are still coming out are just absolutely the dregs of humanity.
Oh my god, what was I gonna say? I don't remember, whatever.
Right.
I can only think of a couple places where I would take you where we would have to dine in.
Right. Wait, you said you're trying to think
back.
You're trying to think of a place you wouldn't have to dine in?
Well, like the best local place, Judy's.
Right.
We just pick it up.
Oh yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Now, if you guys would come my way, I would be taking you to Luigi's. Because fucking good Italian food.
Right.
Just to give an idea, they're still cash only, and they're still running, and there's still usually, like on Fridays and Saturday nights, a line out the door. Like 1 year we went for my birthday, and my birthday's in November, and it's cold as fuck, and we had to stand outside to wait to go inside because there's a line. So even in November, when you have to stand outside to wait to get in to get a table, there's still people lining up to pay cash for this food. So I'm like, yay, good food.
It better be.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find. Let me find a little picture here. Restaurant. If I could type, that would be great. Salads. Now, there's, as usual, they offer salads before dinner. Come on, show me images, please. And their cheese is absolutely like a mountain of cheese, like complete mountain of cheese, literally. Like, wait, let me find this here. There we go. Copy and go over here and go up there. There we go. And there we go. So I posted it in the chat. So, I mean, it's entirely covered up in this little amount of cheese.
Holy crap. I'm recording.
That
right?
is.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I was like, we're not. If you fail to record this time, no episode this month. I'm not doing this again. God damn it.
No, I'm using OBS this time instead of the native recorder for my video card, which is the one that fucked up.
I mean, I'm sure it was just a burp in the system or whatever, but I was like, oh, please tell me you're paying attention to that, because if we got like 2 hours in, you're like, yeah, we should probably, hey, I'm not recording again. I was just going to be like, click, disconnect.
No, I was just making sure it wasn't like a fever dream or something.
What, you mean my life isn't a fever dream? Wake up 10 years old again?
I would not want that life.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I think I'd do a lot of things different if I was gonna wake up as a kid again. That's more like the shit they always say, like, you know, like hindsight is 20/20. Like, you hit adulthood and there's all these things you didn't do, or you, like, you know, stuff like not taking care of my teeth. Like, definitely probably would have flossed a lot more as a kid had I realized how much pain I was in for as an adult.
I always worry that even with the knowledge I have, I would somehow fuck it all up and not end up with the people around me I have now that I would want still around me.
Oh, right, yeah, because the chain of events required to meet said people wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thought.
That, and 10-year-old me was still because I was born with it, bipolar with a psychosis, and unmedicated.
Right. Right. And at 10, you can't really advocate for yourself.
No.
Also, that would also be what, like 20 years reverse of medical science.
Mm-hmm.
Because believe me, like I remember when my mom finally got medicated, like late 90s, like when they finally started like trying to figure out her medication. It was better, but it was like it's like from then to now it's like Sledgehammer versus Scalpel. Even in like that time frame.
I mean,
I sometimes like forget how amazing like the last 20 years of medical science advancement have been. 'Cause it's like, oh yeah, you just take that drug didn't exist.
Yeah, I take Rarelar, which only recently got a generic.
Right.
And is shiny and fancy and new and stuff like that.
Right.
Actually, did it get a generic, or was that my other pill I got a generic? I don't remember. Either way, that really manages my manic episodes.
Right.
Which is part of being bipolar.
Right.
And helps with the psychosis. So now my hallucinations are very mild, happen rarely. I mean, I did see that person in the closet earlier, but my brain knew it wasn't real.
Did you guys see they finally unveiled the new postal carrier vehicle?
No.
Oh my lord.
Linky Link.
Here, I think that'll work.
That looks like something out of an animated film.
Doesn't it?
Like, are we sure that isn't a postal card from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or something?
Why did we both go to the same place?
Because it looks like that style.
Right?
Like, wait, isn't the cop car like that? Yeah, it looks like the flying car. Only longer. Because it's a van, not a car.
Right.
Really low down, really high top.
Right.
Going back to the time travel thing, thinking about it, I would cut out so many people in my life. So many people from my life. But at the same time, I realize a lot of those people are the only reason I know the people I know now.
Right.
So there's my fear again. How do I continue to meet those people?
No, I know. No, I mean I would never want to change, like what happened. I just been like I probably would make some personal health choices that I didn't make, like take diet and exercise a little more seriously.
That and having all that knowledge as a 10-year-old, what the fuck am I gonna grow up like?
Right. Knowing like 9/11's going to happen and there's nothing you can do to fix it. I did not mean to go down this existential dread topic. I was just thinking, like, funny, haha, what if you woke up and you were a kid again?
Speaking of animation, what do you think the most searched anime in the US is?
Dragon Ball.
No.
Wow. Is it anything I would expect, or is it something like unbelievable?
It's something you would expect.
Is it popular, or is it like it's like One Piece, or like what?
It's One Piece.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Okay, not as shocked.
here.
I mean, like, I honestly would love to give One Piece like a try now that they've like, you know, somebody decent is dubbing it. But like, that's a lot to fucking eat through, and I haven't watched anime in months.
Here's the map.
Wow.
Pokemon's still pretty popular. There's the outlier of Sailor Moon with California. My Hero Academia is pretty big too.
5, yeah. Naruto 6. Death Note. Wow, that hasn't been topical for like a decade.
Yeah, what is wrong with Kansas?
Kansas and Nebraska. And apparently, what is that, South Carolina? Yeah, South Carolina. Or no, North Carolina. Fucking North Carolina, fucking Death Note.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to make that joke to Jen at some point. Everybody in North Carolina is searching for the Death Note so they can fucking kill themselves.
Also, there's going to be, I don't know if you care, but there's going to be a new Wallace and Gromit movie.
I can't believe they're resurrecting it from the dead, but I also can believe it because nobody has any original ideas in this fucking world anymore. Now what? Okay, that's fine. Why the man can't make decisions in my place, I'll never know, but that is what it is. Okay. Ugh.
There's also going to be a sequel to Chicken Run, finally, if you ever watched that.
Yeah, this is clearly Hollywood having no will to even try anything original anymore. It's just, how much money can we make off this investment? Because they're bringing back King of the Hill, and I'm like, why? Why? Beavis and Butthead coming back. Why?
Because
why?
people will watch it, maybe?
Well, yeah.
I'm not gonna watch Beavis and Butthead because I never cared for Beavis and Butthead, but...
Well, no. They're bringing them back as middle-aged men.
Yes.
They're not bringing them back as teenagers. They're bringing them back as old farts. Because it's been 20-some years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired of let's just redo the same thing over and over again. Like, even anime starting to run out of that, where they're like, we're going to... They're remaking... I can never say it right, but the Rumiko Takashi's original one with the alien girl with green hair, or Uruso Tai or whatever, like that. Darling!
That's not how you spell it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's got the tiger print bikini, green hair, horns.
Sometimes her hair is blue.
Yeah, it depends on what era it came out of.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're remaking that. They're fucking remaking that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 40 years, so I get it, but like in the same breath, it's like, I guess. I mean, I'll give them that just because like animation technology's come so far. It was like remaking Sailor Moon. Like, it's a different era. They can remake it and like make it the way they want to make it because we've reached the point where it's not like completely reliant on how much crap you can sell. I mean, like, I would pay for somebody to fucking re-release the original. Like, that would be cool. Because you can't even get copies of it anymore.
Lum Invader.
Yes.
Yurusei Yatsura.
Right.
Yatsura. Not Tsura. I barely remember those.
Right. Well, they kind of predate all modern like anime fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am subscribed to the Twitter account for the people who originally released it in the United States, and like it's been out of print for over 20 years.
Okay. Yay. I'm sort of looking forward to the new Lord of the Rings thing coming out on Amazon-ish.
I just don't pay any attention to it anymore because it's just how much money can we squeeze out of this franchise?
I've never been a fan of the franchise, so I don't care.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too.
Although in another server we started like movie nights and game nights, and the first movie night was last Saturday, and we started watching the Hobbit trilogy.
I'm sorry.
I know there's some things about that trilogy that I don't like that Peter Jackson added, and yes, I know he split it up into 3 movies again because how much money can we make?
Well, he wasn't going to. That was all Newgate. Like, originally it was going to be, I think, 1, then it was going to be 2, because they weren't sure if they could get it all in one movie. And then Newgate was like, well, why don't we do another trilogy?
Yeah. I was sitting there and I was like, because there were people who hadn't watched Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies or read them. And the thing is, I've watched them so many times, and I've read The Hobbit through The Return of the King like 3 or 4 times. So I was like, they're mirroring this and that, and I was like, I had to smash keys so I wouldn't spoil anything. I was like, blah!
Right.
I was so excited to just share with people. That was like,
I always feel like The Hobbit to me feels like it could be somebody's D&D adventure. Like, I realize, like, he basically is the framework for modern fantasy role-playing games, but, like, it actually feels like, and to some extent, like, the beginning of Lord of the Rings, like, feels the same way, like, when they're in the Shire and then going to Rivendell and stuff, like, that kind of feels like a D&D adventure, like you're watching somebody's D&D adventure. It's only, like, later on that they get kind of, I don't want to say political, but, like, they become more, like, less an adventure and more a commentary on society.
Makes sense.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, like, it's still clearly fantasy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's more nuance there.
Yeah.
Because The Hobbit is pre-World War II and Lord of the Rings is after World War II. Or it was World War I forget.
World War I.
Yeah, so, like, you see him before we all kill each other, and then after we all kill each other, it becomes more... Then you have the assholes like, we should make movies on a Similaron. I'm like, oh, God, please, no.
It's like the Silmarillion is basically a history book.
Right.
Like, I mean, and even me, with my nerdiness, I had to power through reading that book.
Right.
Like... I was like, this is so fucking dry, but I've got to read this, goddammit.
Right. Well, and sometimes also do fun things where, like, by reading, like the indexes and appendixes and stuff, like, you start catching things, like, when you go back and reread the story, you catch things that they were foreshadowing because now you, like, know what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things, like, when I said, like, I had to smash the keys, because, and spoiler, because this is going to be referencing both the first Hobbit movie and then the Fellowship movie.
Right.
The first time we see Bilbo and Frodo wear the ring, it happens in almost exactly the same way.
Right.
They trip, fall backwards, the ring goes up in the air, they reach up a hand... And because normally, if you don't think about it, normally your index finger goes up first. So they're reaching up to grab it, and it goes onto their index finger. And I was sitting there going, I cannot do a commentary. I cannot. Right.
Well, I mean, like, okay. So I love the Belgarian and the Malorian. And I just finished, like, I'm almost done listening to the Belgarian all the way through for, like, the last time. And then I'm going to move on to something else, because I've heard it, like, 3 or 4 times. But in the very first paragraph of the very first book, Pawn of Prophecy, when the prophecy, which is basically the guiding force that the good guys are following, it's basically the puppet master of the entire thing, like, it's more powerful than the gods of the world, is recounting the history of the world up until this point, basically setting the stage. It talks about when the god Torak cracked the world at the summit of Corum, the place that is no more. And that is the only time it is ever discussed for the next 5 books. At the beginning of the Malorian, they start going through, like, it's the adult adventures of the main characters. And, like, at some point they bring up Korum, the place that is no more. And they spend the entire next 5 books out of 10 trying to figure out where that is. And, like, after seeing it all the way through, then going back to the beginning and hearing that opening, like, prologue, and hearing them discuss Mount Gorum, the place that is no more, because the Dark God Torek cracked the world and destroyed it. And, like, when they get there, I'm like, how did they ever, like, figure, like, you know, like they go this whole thing about, like, they find our old map, and it shows them where it is, and it's in the Sea of the East, and blah, blah. And then you go back and you hear the reason why it's the place that is no more is it's the place where the Dark God Torek took the Orb of Aldur and tried to bend it to its will, and the Orb just gave him the finger and basically blew him to pieces. And it's like, holy shit! They describe it one time in the first paragraph of the first book when they describe the cracking of the world, and that's the only time it's like location is discussed until they find the physical location at the end of the last book. I was like, what the shit? And there's another one, like, in the middle of one of the books, there's the little boy that's carrying the orb that they're trying to find, Aaron, meets a horse that the main character Garion had saved using his sorcerer powers. And there's a point where the first time they meet, the voice of prophecy goes, done, and there's a ringing of bells. And then nothing is ever discussed about what that was. And in the Malorian, they finally explain it. But, like, when you're reading the book, you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, why was the little boy and the horse meeting so important? And, like, he does all this shit where, like, when you reread the books, there's all these points where the prophecy's like, you know, something important has happened, and you're like, what? But there's like a whole, you know, some of them are really obvious, like the first time that the main character uses his powers, you know, it's another step up his master plan. But the one that always stuck out to me was the little boy and the horse meeting, and like the bells ring like a great thing has happened, and the horse and the boy are bonded, and they're like, but why was that important? He's just a little orphan. Like, who gives a shit? Like, he met the horse. Congratulations. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's stuff like that that really gets you, you know? You're like, okay, that's... Especially upon, like, rereading, and then you're like,
right.
Shit, how did I miss this the first time? Like...
Right.
What the fuck? What the shit? Like...
Right.
But, like... And also, like, because in the first Hobbit movie, when they're in Rivendell, so Gandalf is sitting there talking with Elrond and Galadriel and Saruman.
Right.
And I made the connection. At that point, I was like, because Saruman's being his whole, like, hoity-toity, self-brushing off. And I'm like, you know what? He's already probably started looking into the Palantir at this point.
Right.
Because that's how he gets corrupted, is he's looking into the Palantir, and Dark Lord is, like, talking back to him. Like, I was like, he's probably already started, like, looking into the Palantir. And, like, it never occurred to me that that's probably what was happening. You know, so it's just like, oh, I'm so glad that Sir Lee lived to reprise his role. I just, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Well, what I love is, if I remember correctly, like, the whole thing was they wanted, like, the gods or whatever that were in charge of the wizards, like, before they sent them, they wanted Gandalf to be in charge, but Gandalf was too humble?
Possibly.
Like, it's in one of the, I don't know which book it's in, but they describe, like, or maybe it's Apocrypha, I don't know, but, like, they talk about, like, he was always like the favorite son, quote unquote, but like he just didn't think that highly of himself.
That kind of makes sense. Like it rings a bell.
It was one of those deals that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's not something that is like I know for sure that yes, that's what happened. But like that sounds like Gandalf because you kind of the recurring theme of what Gandalf keeps saying is that it's not. I mean, especially this is kind of through Tolkien as well,
right?
And his views is yes, they're the great and powerful, but it's the little people and the little things that they do that truly save the world. So that kind of pours itself into Gandalf because, and especially with Elrond, like Elrond sees more, he may. Thank you for calling the.
And she's gone.
Nope, she's gone. Nope.
Oh, there we go.
I remember very little about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Well, I've read it like once, and I was a child.
Right.
I've read The Hobbit a couple times, but that's because it was something my brother would read to me.
Right.
So I think that's the only reason I ever liked The Hobbit, not because I actually liked it.
Right. Well, you have fond memories. It's like,
yeah,
I would never reread like Treasure Island or like Call of the Wild, but my mom read them to me in the bathtub as a kid when I was bathing. That's probably why I like audiobooks so much. I always enjoyed as a kid having books read to me.
Yeah, audiobooks have really made a big resurgence.
I honestly love audiobooks, especially if you get, I mean, not every audiobook, but like if you get good readers, like it's awesome. Like the reason why, part of the reason I love the Bulgarian series or David Edding series is Cameron Byerly, the guy who reads them, is like a professional storyteller. And like I always say this, like it's so hard to find good readers because you find like famous books and the people reading them are god fucking awful. I don't have a good example, but like I was looking at like a sample of, I remember it was like one of the original Harry Potter audiobooks. Like it's better now. They've gotten better people to read them. But some of the people like back in the day, they're fucking terrible. It's boring. It's like, and then he did it. He really did it. He killed the bad guy. It's like, It's like they got.
Go ahead.
I was like, they got like the new. I think the newest version of Lord of the Ring. It's Oh, I can't think of it. The guy who played Gollum is the reader.
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, he reads the newest version of the Lord of the Rings audiobooks.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that. I was like, oh yes, you want him doing this. You want him doing it.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor. So it's he's a voice actor, a good actor. So it's good to hear him do something like that. Like I'm okay. It's like Stephen Fry read the Harry Potter books, which I thought was a really like.
Which is
before she turned into a complete psycho.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what people say. Like you can love the art and still hate the artist, but it definitely colors my perception when I find out like the person who produced the piece is a complete absolute garbage human being.
Yeah, and I'm like and while I can love that I've read all the books.
Right.
I don't know that I can actually reread them because of once people started pointing out the racism, the classism, and the ableism, and I was like, no, I can't read this anymore. I just and Snape, and I'm like, no, just fuck, no, just.
It's hard to overlook things when you're woke.
Yeah. Right. I was like, yeah, the hell doesn't work. But in reference to Andy Serkis. So there's like a behind the scenes, because I have the extended versions of all of the Lord of the Rings movies. Right. So one of the behind the scenes things was somebody who like was working on the set, and he was like, yeah, I got to stand there for 2 hours and watch Andy Serkis be Gollum. And he's like, and it hit me like, not everyone can see that. Like, I got a front row seat to stand there and watch him bring this character to life. And I'm just like, they're mind blow.
Well, it's why I'm sad that Robin Williams died as young as he did, because like if the man had lived into present day without the issues he had, holy crap. Like, I've seen video of him doing voice work for like Aladdin and stuff, and the man was certifiably insane. Can you imagine putting him in a mocap suit? The amount of material the animators would get?
Oh yeah. Like, that would just be yeah. That would be amazing to see him do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's very interesting to watch Benedict Cumberbatch in that suit being Smog. It looks so ridiculous, but he 100% goes for it. Like, army crawling along the floor. I'm like, yes, sir.
Well, I mean, Michael Caine talks about that with the Muppet movies. He said, like, the biggest thing about all this is to treat it like it's a real role. Like, it is a real role, but you know what I'm saying? Like, don't treat it like it's a children's role. Treat it like any other role, and give your best, and it will show through. And it was the whole thing. It was like, he's acting like the Muppets are real people around him. Like, if who is Ebenezer Scrooge? Like, he's acting like it's Ebenezer Scrooge. Not Ebenezer Scrooge in a Muppet Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge in a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, the Muppets being silly works so well. It's like Tim Curry as Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island. There are a couple serious scenes between him and the kid that played Jim. And it's like, holy shit, like, this is a real movie with silly Muppets inserted. Like, it's not like that they're Muppets doesn't matter. It's the story. Just so happens that some of the parts are played by Muppets.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely tell when, like, the actors recognize, like, this is a valid art form. And valid performance art form.
Right.
And we're treating it like that because it is valid. And then it just shines through. And that's why some movies are great and some movies don't necessarily come out that great.
Well, and, like, my whole thing is, like, I don't have any issue with, like, investors wanting to make money on movies. But the whole problem is it's become such a rote, like, formulaic thing of, like, we'll keep remaking the old stuff that was a winning bet so that we can keep making money off the plebs going to the theaters, that we're not seeing any original product. We're not seeing any new franchises grow out of any of it. Like, I mean, fucking Ghostbusters is, like, it was a bunch of fucking SNL guys going like, let's make a movie about guys fucking hunting ghosts. And as much as I want to, like, love the new movies, I realize they only exist because fucking financial people are like, we want to make some fucking money.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the remake at all. Like, I recognize that it may be a good movie. It's just my interest level is near zero.
From what I hear, it's not a good movie.
Yeah, like
the sequel or the remake? I don't know which one you guys are talking about.
The remake.
The sequel? I'm talking about?
I was talking...
Because there's the remake from 2016 with all the ladies.
I'm talking about the remake with all the ladies.
Oh, that one's awesome.
I may see it just to watch Chris Hemsworth be a himbo. Also,
well, that was the thing. Like, Annie Potts was not the dumb secretary. Like,
no, she wasn't.
Like, they all, like, in modern day, they're like, oh yeah, she was just playing up the dumb secretary stereotype. And I'm like, did you watch the movie?
She was not. She was a fucking redhead. Fire starter, just, like, Yeah, she was not a stupid secretary. Okay, it wasn't.
I mean, it's like the part of the reason why I love the original Willy Wonka, and I'm not as big of a fan of the remake, is just because like there was so much more going on in the original. That the writing was just so much better. Like, and I've watched both. And the newer one does more justice to the story, but the original, like the first one, does more justice to like seeing inside the psyche of Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Because you first meet him and he does that like hobbling out and then the tumble and he walks fine after that. And you're like, can we really trust this guy?
Whereas men is found in the heart or in the head.
Yeah.
Only the wild men will know.
I don't think we really needed that deep of a dive into Willy Wonka. At least not from wow.
Gene Wilder?
No, at least not from Johnny Depp.
Well, I feel like Johnny Depp is just like working through some things in his movies.
Yeah. Johnny Depp went into the silly, strange kind of shit.
Right.
Like, you're like, the kind of Willy Wonka that you're like, okay, pet, and then you back away slowly, like, okay.
Well, he played him like an overgrown kid, kind of the Michael Jackson thing, like he never really had a childhood, whereas Gene Wilder played him like this reclusive hermit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like I get like the way I see the Gene Wilder one, it's kind of like old wizard who lives by himself. And everybody goes, "Oh, that's just the crazy old man who lives in the cave." And then you find out he's like this grand wizard with all these powers, and he knows all these things that he's not letting you like leading on to.
Yeah.
Like the whole like Wonka vision. Take a giant candy bar and then project it via radio waves to wherever somebody needs it.
Yeah. Stretch. Brain went, scramble. But we're also sharing in the other server because one of my Facebook memories today was me like kind of gushing over the fact that like about 5 or 6 years ago my aunt and uncle were still in Australia. I think they went to New Zealand to see the like the Hobbit thing, like the display and stuff with like all the costumes and stuff, and he legit emailed me a picture of Thorin's costume that you see him wearing throughout most of the movie. And so I shared that, and then another person, the creator, who is also just as big of a LOTR fan, was like, I have more, and here's for Feely and Keely and all of the fucking designs, and kind of
right
sitting here being nerds and squeaking over it. Thank you.
Oh, I wish I could have held on to whatever thought I was just thinking, because now I don't know what it was. Oh well. Oh, I finally started watching Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the second season.
Isn't it good?
I've only seen 3 episodes, but yeah.
Oh, good. I'm waiting for the home video release, but it's not happening.
There's slightly more plot.
Oh, is that what we're calling giant titty dragon girls?
Yes.
Plot.
Plot. Plot.
I've seen enough of the design art for the anime for Lulu to be like, yes, they found the safest way to bring the giant titty lolly dragon girl into reality without immediately being fucking nuked from space. Because everybody who only knows him for Dragon Maid doesn't realize that he is predominantly a porn artist first.
Mm-hmm.
We've had this conversation a couple times, but it never has lost him. And people are like, I don't understand why it's so fetishy. I'm like, do you know what this guy's famous for? Because you might want to look at his bibliography, basically.
But yeah, so far so good.
Who are we talking about?
The guy who... Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
The guy that does Mish Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, I just heard Cupcake say, "Do you know what he's famous for?" I'm like, eh.
Yeah. The long and short of it is the guy writes this stuff to pay for his love of writing smut, really weird fetishy smut.
Hey, that's valid.
And if you see the new Dragon Girl for season 2, Lulu, like she's got tits. One of her tits is roughly like 2 to 3 times the size of her head.
Oh, jeez. Ow. Did you say ow? I mean, I understand the concept, like, and I know why he does it, and I understand, but then there's part of me going, ugh.
Well, in anime, boobs are bouncy and light. They're not full of fat.
Yeah, they go by anime boob physics. Totally different physics than the rest of physics in general.
I mean, unless they're made of old fake boobage, they are soft and whatnot, but they're heavy.
I mean, all the Dragon Girls are well endowed, but Lulu is like the size of a 10-year-old, so
she's a bit taller than a 10-year-old in this.
Well, she's only a little bit taller than
It's Kona, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, I can't think now.
I want to say yes.
Yeah, Kana. Right? Or no? Yeah, Kana Kamui. Because she's the second of her name.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think Kana may be the only one who doesn't have giant titties.
Well, yeah, she's perfect, Lily.
Because Toru's pretty well endowed. I know Elma is. Let's not even bring Lukoa into this. Because remember, that was the thing I was thinking about, like, having read the manga, was like, when they got if they did a season 2, how the hell were they going to do a Lulu? Because she's pretty fetishy.
Yeah. Lost. Okay, what are... Yes, the character voices in my head. There we go. All right. Anyways. I know sausage. So you have to go outside. Oh, more snow.
Did we talk about Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft last time? I forgot.
I forgot. I think it came out since then.
They just announced it a couple days ago.
I couldn't remember how old it was.
Yeah. So I just kind of follow along and go whatever because I'm not, I don't have all the gaming systems. I don't really have the games so I just kind of follow. I mean, granted, I'm kind of reading one of the comics right now based on one of their games, but that's only because I fell into that lore hole and it haven't come out yet. Like I said, that's just me. So, yeah. Stupid. I just put my hair up and it's like, we're going to fall out of the clip. Okay, thanks. And be annoying. Oh,
Twitter
yes.
is what?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Twitter is doing NFT profile pictures.
Oh, whatever.
Ugh.
I don't even want to hear about this anymore because it's just stupidity of the highest level. To me, at least. One of like a friend of a friend on one of the other servers is a programmer involved with it. He was like defending it. I'm like, dude, it's basically the same idea as like rich people do with their art. He's like, well, it's different. I'm like, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, yeah, but it goes deeper than that. I'm like, dude, it's a Ponzi scheme. Like, I'm sorry that you're working on a Ponzi scheme, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it'll get a special hexagonal shape.
Well, on a lighter note, I'm making a kind of, it was like a newer way to make meatloaf that I kind of made up myself. I'm sure there's other recipes out there, but it's a hit with me and hubby. So basically, you take the usual ground beef or pork or whatever you feel like using, egg, a little bit of breadcrumb, and then you put in sour cream and taco seasoning, like the usual, like El Paso taco seasoning in a packet thing. Mix it all up, put down in the pan half of it, take the blocks of cheese, cut it along the long side so it's longer strips of cheese, put it in the middle, however many strips you want, however many different cheeses you want, and then put the other half on top and toss in the oven. And you get cheesy meatloaf. It's very, very yummy. Because, yeah. If they're talking about yummy food is always good. But yeah, I have Monday off. I decided to take Monday off because I had an appointment, and I was like, well, let me just take the entire day off because I've got like a little over 5 weeks of vacation and I hardly ever take days off, so I'm just taking the day off. Instead of like just the morning off. So.
Yay, day off. Boo, appointment.
But, however, after the doctor's appointment, I decided, I'm like, well, since I got the day off, go to Massage NV app, schedule massage. Because I got like Christmas and birthday money burning a hole in my wallet. I was like, okay, let's do this and do the 90-minute one. And because I kind of knew I needed one, because when I started like moving my neck side to side, it started like click popping, that kind of thing, like click cracking. Like, okay, I need to get another one. And of course, like the last time I went in September, they were like, "Oh, would you like to sign up for like our membership?" And I'm like, "Eh." And it's like, "You should really come in like 3 or 4 weeks." I'm like, sitting there thinking, "Yeah, I know I should because of how I work and the stress of my job." But I'm not necessarily going to be coming in 4 weeks or giving you a membership.
Ooh, full of gas. Open. I have no strength.
No boy.
Yeah, that's the dice hubby got.
Fancy.
And then he got me pansexual dice.
Ooh. But why would anyone ever be attracted to cookware? That's the real question.
Dude, cookware is so sexy.
Right? A nice Dutch oven.
Mm.
I knew exactly what I was saying, and I regret no part of it.
Let me know the dice here.
I just don't want to work the next 3 days. It'll be fine.
Very nice, shiny, clacky math rocks. I liked your new clacky math rocks.
Oh, math rocks.
Math, yes.
I heard mouth unintelligible, so.
Right.
Sorry, I have a cough dropping, so my mouth was like, how do I talk with this in again? Oh, yeah. Ow.
You could have said it perfectly straight, and I probably just misheard.
Right.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I actually, let me see here. Let me find this again. So I actually left it open. Oh, thank you, mail. So a while back, I ordered let's see here. Where is it? There we go. It's called Lengthening Shadows fanzine. So I was very excited because I got something that, let me know, like, hey, it's starting the shipping process. I was like, yay! Yay. So it was like artwork and all kinds of stuff for a favorite ship of mine. So cool. I'm happy. I'm going to go close out some of that stuff. But it's very nice. So, yay. So I was very excited to see that because I'm like, it's probably coming from overseas. And with all the shit going on with the, shipping, I'm like, I'm just going to be patient.
Well, my Walmart order has been delayed. No! How will I live without my carpet cleaner?
I know, right? It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Let's see here. scrolling through some of my open tabs and going, which fan fiction do I want to reread here? So I just finished a reread of another one. And so I'm like, which one do I want to reread right now? Because there's some of these where I'm like, I've reread them enough times that I'm like, I don't necessarily know if I want to reread them again. And then there's other ones where I'm like, I'm waiting for them to update. And do I want to reread this while they're... Yeah. And there's another one where I'm like, I kind of stopped in the middle of reading it and didn't start again. So maybe I'll read that one. Okay. Yeah, my life's not very interesting at times. Like, occasionally I'll be like, oh, here's something that I'm really interested in. And then I, like, run through the excitement. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. So. Because, yeah. So, hubby may be joining his boss in North Carolina at the end of next week. So, oh, and I may be going to my brother and sister-in-law's prohibition party, scene party. So they have one every year in January. And, you know, you get to dress up and have booze and stuff to drink. And we usually don't go because usually, like, you know, I'm okay with, you know, that kind of thing, like, not all the time. That's not really hubby's scene. Plus, well, they have 2 cats. And, you know, hubby is like, yeah, can only stay for so long before it starts getting to me. So that's why it's like, we're not sure if we're going. Sorry. Plus, like, it's a lot of their friends. So, like, how many people will we really know there? Like, we'll know those 2, like my brother and sister-in-law, and maybe 1 or 2 other people, and then, like, that's about it. So it's like, but that's one of those things, is like, we're not necessarily looking for excuses not to go. It's just, yeah. Usually we're homebodies. We're like, okay, Saturday nights are usually our date nights, and then we usually come home. And that's about it. Let me see. Oh, my eyes are seeing things. I was like, what the fuck? Did I just get a phone call? No, I didn't. Okay.
Hey man, I'm the one who does the hallucinations around here.
Hey. That's not just your wheelhouse. I occasionally will hear things, and, like, yesterday I could have sworn I saw something. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you think you see something out of the corner of your eye, and then you look up and you're like, or you think you see something moving, and then you look up and you're like, there's nothing in that area that moves. Like, there's no curtains, there's no nothing, there's just, I thought I saw something move. Iffy.
Apparently the green M&M is gonna trade out her white high heels for sneakers.
Clearly.
because they don't want an over-sexualized character as part of their marketing scheme anymore.
Well, they can't make money, so they gotta do something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's like I said, the kids headphones that we always get every year for Black Friday that up until this year had been blue for boys and pink for girls are now just green. And I was like, yep, they're just like, well, that market's dried up, so let's just go ahead and make them gender neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or they could come in a wide variety of colors so kids could just pick up their favorite color.
Look, they're $3 headphones for one day a year. You want to put the money up for that, you do that. Me, I gotta try to sell the shit. I'll tell you one thing, they certainly sold a lot better. They ended up stuck with a whole bunch of pink ones.
Good. When did I close Twitter? There we go.
Because you don't like it?
But Twitter. How am I going to know the horrible political stuff without it?
I know, right?
Or see a dog so small it can stand on a giant mushroom.
Okay.
Or how else will I see some of my not safe for work content?
That too.
Snigger. Because I remember scrolling through Twitter and being like, oh, you can post those kind of pictures?
Oh yeah, Twitter doesn't have any fucking
They don't care.
Don't care.
I follow quite a few artists on Twitter who post nothing but that.
What's the biggest problem? Oh, sorry.
Well, a lot of them came to Twitter because Tumblr became a hellhole.
Yeah.
Well, that's my whole thing. Every content arrogant website, when they go to sell out, they quote unquote clean up, and they're like, no more adult content. It almost happened with fucking OnlyFans. I was like, OnlyFans exists for that fucking shit.
Yeah. You do that, OnlyFans will no longer exist. No.
Well, I mean, it's like Tumblr. I mean, it exists, but it's a fucking shadow of its old self.
Yeah.
Oh, they finally have a date for the new Lego Star Wars game. Huzzah! Sorry, continue.
That's okay. It's I have a Tumblr, but I wasn't really active on it to begin with, and then it became a shadow of itself, and so it's just,
I don't even
whatever.
bother to post there anymore.
Why? There's no one there.
Exactly.
I know.
They've had to ban more stuff because of Apple.
Right.
To stay on Apple products.
Right.
Unreasonable amount of things.
Yeah. Well, I know, I started following, I found them on TikTok, and then I started following their Twitter just because I was like, okay, whatever. I can unfollow them if I don't like it. And then they got specific piercings in their happy place, and I was like, oh, you're showing your Jacob's ladder. Okay. Finger guns, scroll. Just, okay, that's interesting. I get to see one in real life and not one that's just drawn. Okay, scroll. Got another message from work in a specific chat that I'm like, I don't care if it's overtime. I don't care if I'm trained on it. I don't care that you're saying that, oh, you should sign up for the spike tonight. Fuck you. And the horse you rode in on. No. It's yeah, fuck you.
Everybody at work, I say, it's alright if you don't want to come in on your day off tomorrow. Oh, I'm not coming in. What? I'm not coming in. I'm taking my day off. But I'm like, nope, no. I'm sorry that people in our department are positive for COVID, but that is not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
We have the day covered. You guys have a good one. I'm gonna enjoy sitting on my butt.
Exactly. Because it's like, my friend who has worked with me for a very long time, since my Drunky Mark days, she's like,
Right.
you're very, very, very hard worker. And I'm like, the sad part is as a communicator in this company, me working my 40 hours every single week puts me like practically head and shoulders above other communicators. So I'm like, there are people who call all the damn time. And I'm like, for me, it's like you go into work and you work your hours and you get your money. And I'm like, and I can also say that I am lucky enough that because I work my hours and because I'm married to a lawyer, I can look at this overtime and say, no, I can decline the overtime.
Right.
But I'm not, it's dropped enough for cash at this point in my life that I have to work more hours to get that money. So I'm like, I'm very well aware that I'm coming from a position of, I'm lucky enough that I can look at this and say, fuck you, no. So, but still, it's like,
oh, that's interesting. Just hung it up. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't care. Then leave me a message.
So yeah, I was like, I'm completely aware that I'm coming from a point where a lot of other people don't come from, but I'm just like, yeah, the way that they phrase some things is why I throw some profanity in there when I'm sitting here and looking at it and going, WTF. Like, no. Like, come on, go on and sign up. I was like, no. And that is exactly why I will continue to say no. Even though you need the help, and even though I'm trained on that client, I will continue to say no if you continue to phrase it like that.
Right.
Plus, it's a Christian client. I don't necessarily want to take Christian calls.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm at the point where I'm like 100% like one, maybe two clients, and both of them are commercial. Well, technically one's commercial. Technically one is still like fundraising.
Right.
But because you're technically like donating money, even though there's a difference between renewing a membership and a donation, you're still donating money.
Right.
So, but so, and technically I got moved from the fundraising group set to the inbound only group set, because technically I started in fundraising, but I wasn't really good at it because I didn't really feel like asking the little ladies twice for money that they couldn't give me. I'm saying I cannot muster the energy to give a solid second request. I just can't. Because these are little ladies and little guys, and this is
Oh, they jump on us about like pushing fucking credit cards and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
My job is hard enough without having to fucking push shit I could give a fuck about.
Well, even at Bed Bath & Beyond, like, it was like item of the month. You're supposed to offer it. And I would say, and I would like base it on like, if there was somebody coming in and buying a shit ton of window treatments and curtains, I'm like, I'm not offering them this. This shit is expensive, and you want me to try to pitch this to get them to spend more money? Oh, no. I'll just say I forgot. Whoops. I forgot. Sorry. I'm like, no. If I wanted sales, I would go into sales. Okay? I mean, that's kind of like, still remember like when they were moving some folks from my original position, which was on the back end, to being on the phones. one of the girls was like, we kind of caught wind of it. And one of the girls was like, yeah, if this is offered to me, I'm going to quit. Because if I wanted sales, I would have stayed in making. I was like, that's valid. That's valid. Like, I'm not going to blame you for knowing what you do. And thank you for.
Well, alright. I'm gonna eat this Cadbury cream egg.
You do that. Ew, don't do that.
But yeah, like I was saying, I'm like, I don't blame her for knowing, like, what she does and does not want to do and is sticking to it. I'm like, so, well, yeah, I don't blame you. If you feel like quitting, totally fine. All right. My brain just went, what are we looking at? Oh, yes. Not sure why I didn't start sending this out to begin with, but thank you. Fudgesicles. God damn, like, it's all. Anyways. And resend there we go. I was like, what am I looking for? And break time. Yay. Break time. What else? Yeah. Like I said, my life isn't very exciting.
I mean, this isn't happening until May, and I'm trying to remember the name of the place. Hang on a second. But I'm going to Utah.
Ooh.
Wait, what? You're going to Utah?
There's a D&D park, like amusement park in Utah called
that
Evermore.
one. That
Evermore
one.
Park.
You said D&D park. I was like, oh, that one. Sorry.
We're going
anyway.
there by fucking car.
What the?
Bless
Okay,
you.
Godspeed.
I was like, bless y'all. Bless y'all.
Like, an immersive experience theme park in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Trained actors who portray fantasy characters on the main attraction as opposed to major rides. Yay!
Hey.
Oh no, there is a train. I'm riding that fucking train.
Choo choo.
Chugga chugga choo choo. No, apparently they like encourage you to dress up as your own D&D character.
Right.
Which I'm like, maybe, probably not. I'm not gonna put effort into armor probably, so probably not.
I don't blame you.
I play a cleric who wears half plate.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Our moment of zen was my cleric wears full plate, and yes, and his vestments are underneath the plate. They're like, your knight cannot stop me, and then I fucking rebuke the dead, and he's like, I do not understand how a simple fighter, and I literally lifted up my chest piece, and you can see the vestment. The guy's like, you're a priest!
Hi!
And then I raise the dead!
Yeah, I play a grave cleric.
I'm playing a simple priest of healing who just so happens to have a mace and armor. This has been the best transformation of a character I have probably ever done, because he looks and sounds like a fighter. And so no one ever expects the priest magic. Like, I was a priest. Like, I didn't start as a cleric. I started like as a healer priest, like in light cloth armor. And then it was like we kept losing our players who played the heavy fighters, and so I started collecting armor pieces so that I could defend myself. And eventually, I became the fucking tank. But I started as a healer, so I have slowly built up my magical repertoire to the point that I can raise the dead.
Oh, I won't raise the dead. But
well, yeah, you're a grave cleric.
Yeah, I distinctly won't do that.
We got to the chapter 1 big bad battle. He got killed. I raised him from the dead, and then the necromancer in our party killed him again. And there was so much joy in my heart to do that, because I had technically not committed an evil act, because I didn't kill him.
I still want to make a person as a class.
What's up?
What's your alignment?
Lawful good.
Oh, I'm true neutral.
No, I am Father Jack.
No, I'm a gravedigger that got annoyed and went, I'm becoming a cleric just to stop this fucking war. I'm tired.
I literally started the game as an 18-year-old, fresh off the boat, acolyte of the god of healing. I had a club, basically a shillelagh, and a book of basic healing spells. And then my basic vestments, no real armor. 6 months later, I'm in full fucking custom plate with a morning star and a fucking greater tome of magic. In a whole cavalcade of equipment. I am a walking, talking Swiss Army knife. I can heal, we can climb shit, I can cure, I can basically have antidotes for poison, all because our ranger became a druid, which means she's a nature magic user, and I was like, hey, what do you know about plants? And she's like, why? I'm like, we're gonna make some antidotes. And we're gonna carry said antidotes for the next time some asshole decides it'd be a great idea to poison our fucking beer. Not to mention the fact that I can now cure poison magically, which is a whole nother kettle of fish, because the first time somebody poisoned Razul, they found out the hard way it's not a good idea to do that when the priest is his best buddy. As he's sitting there choking on his own tongue, and I snap my fingers and incant the magic, and he comes back going, what the fuck was that? I go, looks like worrywart poison.
I know my first character was a halfling. Started off as a cleric, I think.
Right.
And then I cross-classed into paladin. And by the time we stopped, I had full plate armor, a riding dog that became a blank dog.
Nice.
And also a silver dragon baby. Like a little silver dragon. So I'm this little, like, 2.5-foot tall tank. I was like, hi.
I should see if I can find the.
And I was best friends with the, like, basically, he was like the orc type. Like, I don't know if he was necessarily like an orc or like half orc, but it's like the big, like, hulking, like, barbarian, like, hello.
Yeah, right.
And then I was also best friends with the fairy.
Right.
But, like, because there was, like, okay, so there was, like, 4 to 6 of us, and at least 2 of us had two characters that needed, like, to roll for. So,
Right.
like, combat rounds were a little bit long. Okay, here's my roll, and here's what I did. This is my turn. Okay, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Right.
Or I'm going to get more snacks. I'll be right back.
Right.
Because we played in the student union, so it was like, okay, I'm going getting some more Mountain Dew or whatever, and But I still want to make a person in the TTRPG setting.
Right.
I don't know which. I don't know if it would be best in homebrew or if it would be best in, like, which one it would be, like Pathfinder or D&D or whatever.
Right.
Because I feel like you would need more than one class. Because a lot of times, like, classes will have, like, you'll have, like, the main class, and then you can specialize in something in that class. So, like,
Right.
but because with a Horsens, you have not only the necromancy and the sorcery, you also need to know a little bit of music. Because that's how you put the dead back dead, is bells. You ring bells to put the dead back where they're supposed to be. And you also know magic, and you also know necromancy. So it's like, so there's like 3 different classes, and it's like, it's so much. Because with, like, say for example, Rana, which is the smallest spell, it's like maybe not much bigger than a thumb. So it's called the sleeper because it puts people to sleep. But also, if you ring it in another way, it wakes things up, as well as putting things to sleep. So the one called the talker, yeah, it makes you talk, but also shuts you up. So that's why I'm like, you need at least a little bardic shit going on, so you can know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And besides the fact you can have technically a familiar, that is I don't know if this is what originally based Mish's extraplanar entity on or not, but so Boggett is a great shining one. He's basically a being of magic that's contained by a collar, usually with one of the person bells on it. So he appears to the current person's father as a little dwarf, a albino dwarf with sharp little teeth. But to the current person, he's a cat, like it's just a regular house cat. But you take the collar off, and it becomes like a 7-foot tall being of light that smells like ozone and wants to kill the person. But there are times when you need to let it loose because, well, I'm in deep shit. Hi, Boggett. Go after that thing, please. Thank you. You can kill me later. Just go after that. But anyways, so got a little bit of time. I'm like, yeah, I just don't know what that would fit well in. So And also the fact of like the different magical families look different. They look a specific way. So like the ones who can see prophecy, they're like blonde hair, blue-eyed things. The Aporsons are usually very pale and have dark hair and dark eyes. So you can kind of tell that, oh, okay, that's the Aporson. So it's like their name plus their title. Like they have a name. They just, when they take on the duties, they're called a Porson. And that's what they're called. So, yeah. Anyways, I just like how Garth next took like similar ideas of like magic and you know the BBEGs and kind of put his own little twist on it, and how death is, and because death is a river technically it's a river, but then there are like different like levels of death that you can walk through as a person and a necromancer. When you get to the final level and you want to get out, you're going there alive and you want to come back out alive and you're going to the final level of death, don't look at the ceiling because the purpose of that ceiling is to draw the spirit upwards and onwards. So you want to get out alive, you stay focused on the water at your feet and, you know, no looking up. Yeah, not only do you have to watch out for any spirits of the dead who are wandering around when they should be wandering around, you also have to worry about, you know, the water and any other eddies that are in the water and falling over and being swept away. And you can't just waltz through death without paying attention. What else? I don't know. Oh, hey! Snowing harder. Thanks for the snow cupcake. I know it usually comes from your direction first.
Right.
It's like, thanks for the snow!
Oh, okay. There's a cat on the other side of my door jiggling my handle, and at first I was like, is that actually happening? I'm just enjoying being able to roleplay again since we can't LARP.
Okay. Valid, very valid. Very valid.
Even when LARP comes back, we probably won't go.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we have all these other activities now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You filled up the space it was using.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Yeah. Oh.
That's still hot. Damn. Okay.
Careful.
I was not expecting that. It's like it's been sitting there for hours. It's probably cool by now. Nope. Nope. Ugh.
Same. I feel like responding to a meme and going, you do realize everyone here is in Horny jail for a reason? It's like, you do realize that, right? Shake fist. Sorry, I'm just giggling. Oh, it's absolutely funny. Oh. Do. Oh, anyways. But yeah, just really glad I'm on AO3 because I get to take part in some stuff and actually write and yeah, and have some fun.
Oops. I keep trying to click most recent on Facebook and accidentally hitting recent ad activity. Why would I want to hit recent ad activity? Ever?
I don't know.
It's just to see ads I've interacted with, and I'm like, do I really need that?
No. Don't think so.
By the way, it's one. I have interacted with one ad.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, Kiki, did you mean to turn your video off?
My video's off?
It's not off, it's just very low res.
Yeah, right now all I see is Cupcake.
Hang on. Focus. Be less shitty.
Yeah, no, I can see her just fine, but she's just very low resolution.
Why am I low res?
I don't know. Am I low res? No. Well,
No.
yeah, actually, maybe I am. Is it my? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's all so confusing. No, I look alright. I'm just lit up like a Christmas. I don't know why I'm looking at that close.
I mean, I can't figure out why it's doing that.
Oh, in other news, my NG Ultimate Edition is supposedly shipping next week.
NG?
NGE, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh.
Very nice.
Cool.
As soon as I get the shipment thing, I'm gonna have to have it held at FedEx because you have to sign for it, and there's no way I'll ever be home for it to come. I actually have to see when it's shipped because I might be home. We'll see.
I really should watch it.
Get some one crunchy for the sausage. Yeah, it's funny because like we used to get we kind of stayed out with the dog. We stayed on Yukonuba and the small breed specifically for dachshunds because That's what their breeder was feeding them. And we used to be able to get a PetSmart, and then PetSmart stopped carrying that brand. Then, or that specific part of that brand. And then we were like, oh, okay, let's get it from Amazon. And that was fine for a while. Then Amazon stopped carrying it. And we're like, what the fuck? So then we started getting like these, small, just regular small breed, whatever. And then they stopped carrying the big bag. So we're like, okay, we need to get a small bag. And it's like, oh. First world problems, right?
I mean, that does suck.
Yeah, but...
I mean, the only thing, like, pet food related thing we're doing differently now is that we're feeding them indoor cat food, because we couldn't before, because the last time we tried that, our indoor-outdoor cat, before she died, got way too skinny on it.
Oh, okay.
Now that we just have the boys and they're indoor cats, they don't get a lot of exercise or anything, so... Because they're lazy shits.
I'm shocked, I tell you. I'm just loving Ringo being comfy on the bed. He's like, yeah, what? Huh? I guess I could take some head pats. My life is so hard.
So hard.
I know, he didn't get any hot dogs. I ate them before I realized he was there.
It's like, Mom, I wanted the hot dog. Hot dog. Come on, Mommy, hot dogs for a hot dog. Let's go. We joke, hubby and I joke that it's like, Baxter, we can't give you any sausage. That would be cannibalism.
Pretty much.
Making some Lavazza coffee. Yay. Apparently, they've been producing this since 1895. Throw some nutmeg in here. Olive and Nutmeg Tavern. Woohoo. Hello, little man. Yeah, I see you. I got you some more crunch. Do you need to go outside? Maybe. You're just following me? Because, you're attached to me.
Yes, I must follow my human everywhere.
Hello, little sausage.
Oh yeah, the new Player Races book thingy came out.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that, and I was like, oh boy.
Allows for more mixing and matching.
Okay, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on, outside. And last thing I know of, are you speaking? Come on.
So, hubby's game is essentially an isekai. If you know what that is.
No.
Either through time travel or world travel or universe travel, you have ended up in a new world. And that's the basis of the plot.
Okay.
Isekai is a very popular genre in anime right now.
Right.
Shocking, I tell you.
It's easy plot. It allows you to explain It allows you to explain a lot of crap about the world because it has to be explained to your main character who's never been there before.
Right. You don't have to preface anything about why the world is the way it is, why these kingdoms are fighting.
Yeah.
In a nuanced way because the character's new too. So you're going, well, this is why Lord Farquhar hates Shrek. Instead of it being why is Lord Farquhar sending all of the fairy tale creatures to Shrek's swamp?
Yeah. But essentially, he let us make up our own races.
Yeah.
This book probably would have been helpful, but the prefaces was you were all medium sized, no matter what. So we're essentially humanoids without being human.
Right.
Very nice.
You have 2 legs, 2 arms, and you stand upright. But bump.
Actually, one of our characters is a snake person, but yeah.
Then how the fuck are you humanoid?
From a height, build, run, this is how much you weigh standpoint.
How can you run if you don't have legs? You invalidate your own logic. Get out of here. And don't come back until your snake person has legs, and then they're a lizard person.
Actually, they might have legs.
Then they're not a snake person!
I don't remember if they have legs.
You don't remember many things. You're not helpful.
I'm not a brain person right now.
This food was overrated, and I don't know if we do it again. Well, what did it cost you? I don't remember.
Anyway, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. You're talking about mixed races and something, cats and dogs, mass hysteria.
That actually reminds me of something that it's called stitching on TikTok, but I think the question was where they're going for that kind of thing where they're humanoid, but they're also kind of like Dragonborn or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was my answer to that was you don't really see a lot of snakes part snake.
Right.
Granted, if they have legs and shit, it's not going to necessarily be a snake. But but enough of a snake that you can say, yes, part of their ancestry is snake. So I'm if you have a sorcerer who's also a cobra with the hood, because then they can use that towards magic and hypnotizing and
the problem with that whole argument, Mish, is that there are hooded lizards. So if as soon as you have legs, you're not a snake. You're not a snake. Yeah, you're either a newt or a lizard.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Right, that's the whole thing. Is allowing it to seem like a great idea until you realize that the snake's method of movement doesn't scale with size. Yes, boa constrictors are fairly fast, but not nearly as fast as small snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that my idea couldn't use work. It was just one of those off the wall, off the top of my head,
I just chew it up and spit it out when people are like, I'm part snake. Well, then why do you have legs?
I guess it's probably better to call them a dinosaur
snake.
Person.
Well, my great-grandfather was a Cherokee Indian, but that don't make me one. Yes, I just did that. Yes, I'm an asshole. Continue.
But you're my lovable asshole of a brother. I love you.
Mm. I don't know, I'm playing a 3-eyed orc tiefling human.
So what happens when the party gets bored on a boat? I'm still fairly amused that the necromancer and the priest are best buddies in our campaign.
That's for some fun hijinks.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. Don't ask me how a chaotic evil and a lawful good character get along, but we've made it happen.
Okay.
I guess he's technically more neutral evil now. He was chaotic evil, but he's much more neutral now, whereas it's just like, he's willing to kill people to get to where he wants to go, whereas Jack is much more nuanced.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a second.
Okay. So he's shifted over time?
Yeah, well, he's had good experiences. He was basically only evil because he'd been mistreated. He's seeing that not everybody's a douche.
Through the power of friendship!
It's more like the power of people treating him like a human being instead of a grave digger. He's kind of the same line of thought as your grave cleric, but like necromancer instead of cleric.
Oh, why is Undertaker trending?
Oh no, did he die? That's usually the only reason wrestlers trend these days.
Oh, they're talking about, why are they talking about the Undertaker? He's not on the cover of it. The new WWE 2K is coming out, the game.
Oh, okay.
Wonder how janky it'll be. They always are.
All the jank, non-stop jank. Here is Jank, Destroyer of Worlds.
It looks pretty in the trailer.
Right.
I'm trying to see if Undertaker's even in the trailer. So far, there's been plenty of other wrestlers.
Right.
I see the one trending. Okay, there was a bobblehead of the Undertaker. That doesn't count. Oh, nope, there he is. For like less than a second.
Right.
Oh, if you pre-order it, you get 3 different versions of the Undertaker.
Oh, how exciting.
But supposedly AEW is coming out with a video game as well, and if that's not jank, then they're really starting to win this war.
Right.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I opted in. I was like, let me just hop on mute, because often I get a call right away when I...
Right.
There we go. I was like, I need to type something else. What do I need to type? Oh, I need to type this.
Woo.
Nice burp.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyways, we're also having a discussion on the costumes of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and how the dwarves and the elves look very, very different, and how it's not just like a costume. They actually put the effort into it to go, this is how you determine whether or not this is dwarven workmanship or elvish workmanship. Sorry, me and Kay we're like fangirling over just the costumes. The fucking they did such a great job. Okay. Rawr.
That actually scared me.
Her and I have just been sitting here in silence.
Sorry.
It's so nice to find fellow nerds. It's just so happy. So happy. My brain is like, when are we finishing? So I need to unmute so I can talk to them, and I'm like, what else am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm at work. Work, the thing that, makes me money.
Money?
Yes. That stuff. Anyways. Like I said, I'm just here. Just here.
I'm here.
So.
I'm queer, but you're very used to that.
Yeah, I'm like, and you're okay. Like,
Dicey dice.
clickety clack rocks.
Nope. Don't load Pandora.
What?
I meant the link next to it.
I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at, like, so I guess in The Hobbit they had, the main actors who played dwarves and then the size doubles. And so, like, in the conversation, I was like, all I have to say is bless the hair and makeup people, because they had to do hair and makeup for 24 people plus Bilbo. So that's like, like 25 people, like you have to, like, and you have to make it match. And the people who do the costumes, and because you have to make them match enough that if you're doing a sweeping shot where you need the size double instead of the actors, like, you need to recognize, like the silhouette at least.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm like, I'm trying not to give stuff away, but knowing what I know, like, I'm like, oh, and they also had to do this in Return of the King. They also did this in other movies where they had to use the scale double because they couldn't, they were doing like a sweeping shot or an action shot where it would have been obvious if they used the actual actor who was portraying a short person, like a halfling or a dwarf. So, yeah. But it's okay, good. All right. But Jesus Christ, Anna, we know he's tall. We understand that. We know Richard Armitage is 6'1". It's okay. It's okay. SK has a hyperfixation sometimes, so it's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. Like, anyways. I'm still reading through my Annie Oakley Elemental Masters book. I have to remember where I put my Kindle. Or just pull up the Kindle app on my iPad, something like that. But I usually read stuff off of my Kindle. So. Oh, the sausage. Hello. Yes, I'm looking at you and calling you cute. Because you cute as button. Yes, you is. The cutest button. Yes. He's like, Mom, you disturbed my beauty rest. Oh.
Oh. Oh. Now Eminem is trending. Oh, it's in reference to the Super Bowl halftime show trailer?
Oh,
interesting.
The halftime show needs a trailer?
Apparently.
I don't even care about the Super Bowl, to be dead honest. I just don't care.
Neither do I.
It doesn't matter. Somebody, probably Chiefs and Green Bay, will play, and it will be fine, and somebody will win, and everybody will be, yay!
You shut your whore mouth. We have a chance.
Who has a chance?
Niners.
Nah.
If people would stop getting hurt.
Dude, isn't it Green Bay at San Francisco?
Yes?
You're dead. Nice try. It's been a great season.
Yes.
I have spoken! It will be the Chiefs and Green Bay. Or the Bills in San Francisco. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't follow that stuff. I'm just like, whatever.
I follow it only as far as I have to in order to discuss it at work so I don't get yelled at.
You okay, Ringo?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I'll take the reps. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, oh, don't stop.
No? I know, you're a bit big for my lap.
Yeah, a bit. I know. What even is it here right now? Oh, that's why. It's 1 degree right now. I'm like, why are my feet cold? That's why.
Oh, God.
Dude, it's Minnesota and the coldest week of the year. It's whatever. What's it like?
Well, that reminds me, I started watching Hawkeye.
Oh, how is it?
I mean, I haven't finished it, but it's alright. It's pretty good.
It's good.
Story makes sense and everything.
Where?
What you missing?
Oh, well, I had... Did I throw them down here? No. My... Oops, shit. Don't break anything, Mike. Goddamn. My... Did I? Talk.
Huh?
Okay, good. It's so dry here, I keep static shocking stuff, and I'm constantly terrified I'm going to short something out.
Oh.
It's like 20% humidity.
Okay.
And just moving around, I'm building up static shocking, so like I touch anything metal. Well, there's a metal piece on my headphones, and I'm constantly terrified that, like that, or God, everything I'm touching, I'm fucking shocking. I'm not trying to do this. It's just anyway. So my slippers were on my desk in front of my monitor, and now I can't find them.
Oh.
Excuse me. Well, whatever. Find them later.
Do you need help, Ringo?
He's trying. He's like, okay.
One under? Are you a cold boy?
He's like, thanks, Mom.
Not even my dog.
You can say that as much as you want. He's still your dog.
I know, he became my dog, but originally he was my father-in-law's dog and then my mother-in-law's dog.
Right.
And then he attached himself to me.
All right.
Ugh.
Ah. Not safe for work chat. Okay. I swear there's reasons why, like, I I laugh so much more now because there's a specific gift for Red Lobster that's not super work. Okay. Okay, stretch.
Okay. Do we want to call it here?
Yeah, probably a good idea. I don't really have anything else to talk about. But at least a couple hours, right?
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. Sure. Probably. We started at 10, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 12:45. Okay.
Alrighty.
Then basic math says that's alright, even though I didn't do any math.
Alright. Toodles.
Bye!
Bye! And then she was gone. Alright. You be good.
Bye.
I'm gonna take a nap.
I'm gonna take a nap too.
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. My New Year's resolution is to not murder any humanoids. So far so good. Farewell my fellow internet beings.